Welcome to the StockMiner.com studios here in the beautiful Black Hills of South Dakota. I'm your StockMiner, Brian Johnson. We had a very, well, muted, but yet move up yet again today to finish the week. So very strong. I hope you guys were playing along from the beginning of the week. I didn't do a lot of videos on the daily side this week, but we did have some really nice entries given both Monday and Wednesday, I think the last video was. Any of them worked out. I mean, it was straight up all week. Look at this push. How amazing is that? Very reminiscent of what we were seeing, and just textbook from a TA standpoint. Once we broke this little bull flag back here, it was off to the races. Just a really nice, easy, simple trade, to be quite honest with you, for the entire week. From a swing trader's perspective, this was just manna from heaven. Once we got above 12.4, 12.400, and 12.500, 12.400, 12.450, and 12.500. You had three really strong entries, and every one of them worked out very well. So this move up here, high base, move up again. Just like I said, textbook TA, as this thing just kind of pulled back in a very nice, orderly manner, giving us a very nice bull pullback that I talked about for about 2 weeks. It took quite a while for it to finally resolve itself, but did a fantastic job of holding this 50 down here before it took off to the upside. Once we broke to new highs, the bears were out. Done. Finito. They all covered, and away we went, running to the upside. So by the end of the week, a extremely strong week for the bulls, as you can see. Now this, if you want to call that inverse head and shoulders, this is really ugly on a Dow. It's much cleaner on some of the other charts, but great. Really putting in a very nice formation right here. Some of you might want to just call this a cup and handle. You can make it whatever you want. Truth is, or fact is, bullish. Very strong. Now, when will this stop? You know what, guys? Truly anyone's guess. You're going to have people that are going to say it should stop here, or it should stop there, and coulda, woulda, shoulda, we can do it all day long. Truth is, nobody knows when this is going to stop. If you are long and held over the weekend, into next week, I'd be cautious. I really do expect a pause, a break, maybe a high base to kind of form next week sometime, or a pullback of some sort to happen next week. Something to that effect. Point is, if you're still in this thing to the long side, run it out, guys. Don't jump out too soon. Don't get spooked. Don't get scared in this thing. Stick with it. This is what I've been just preaching to my subscribers, is we're going to stay with it. I've gotten a lot more aggressive with my subscribers in our entries, and I've gotten a lot more loose in our stops, and we're just going to ride this baby out. We've done very well so far. Excellent trades over the last few weeks, and we have made just killer profits in gold lately. From the subscribers list, we've done very well on the gold side of things. So run this baby up, let it go, see how far it'll run for you. NASDAQ 60-minute did pull back at the end of the day, and a lot of this was, I don't know if you guys watched Apple. Holy smokes, huge move at the end of the day on big volume when it was all said and done with. So pullback, I mean, nothing really broken, but it was a little spooky from the standpoint of straight down, basically, in Apple, with huge volume accompanying it. That probably had something to do with where the NDX went today. The NASDAQ composite overall finished up a point, so parity for that. And this one finished down 0.24%. It's a big move by the NDX overall, the 100 strongest of the NASDAQs. By the time the day was done, though, we're still in just a high base formation. You can make that into a reversal candle, that's fine, but 2400 is still the area to be watching coming into next week. Overall, look at this. Since we had this little hammer candle back here and the confirmation that followed, it has been absolutely parabolic. Straight up on the NASDAQ. Love the NASDAQ long, or the NDX long. Love it. So very strong move right here into a high base. We'll see if it wants to come back and retest some of these levels, but 2400 will be the first level to break coming into next week. From a weekly perspective too, you can see it getting up above and eventually closing above the 2400 mark, which was my area to not only break but hold by the time this week was over with. So 27 point move, a move of 1% for the week. Not too shabby for the NASDAQ. Not super strong by any means, but not too bad. A good start here. Going to want to watch very closely, see if that holds next week at that 2400 level. But still, good trading in the NASDAQ. SPX was also up, finishing strong at the end of the day. This thing is, they're all in what looks like just wave threes right here. Very, very strong moves to the upside. Stick with it, play it out for the week. Very, very strong. Doing the same type of an effect. Now we can kind of make this one more into an inverse head and shoulders. If you guys want to do that, great. If you're into that kind of stuff, target is probably right around 1430, 1420 to 1450 is where I'm putting my targets to the upside. If it's all legit, and it looks pretty good so far. So, will we get a pullback or anything next week? Yeah, I think it'll slow down. I don't know if it'll pull back. It might high base. I'm not even convinced, that it won't run for a little bit longer here. But point is, it looks very, very good coming into next week. For you bulls, you did very well. For you bears, why are you bearish? I'm being serious. Why are you bearish? If you're listening to other people or you're being influenced by other people, let me just please tell you to, just learn. How do I best put this? Don't be influenced by everybody else's bias, because it's typically based on what they're in. If you're bearish, you'll find a reason to be bearish. If you're in bull positions, you'll find a reason to be bullish. Oh, the economy's awesome, blah 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 blah. Well, the reason you're all, cheery and happy is because you're bullish on Apple or some stock. Don't let bias change your idea of what the charts are showing you. The charts just are what they are, and you got to learn how to follow it. If you can't follow the charts, or if you just don't have a good understanding of it, then you need to either A, maybe take a hiatus from trading and just paper trade for a while, or B, and this is what I talk about this all the time, but I cannot stress it enough. An education, not only an education, but the right education is so very important in the markets. You can't be a brain surgeon just by reading books and cruising the internet. It doesn't work that way. You have to get a strong formal education, and the best way to get that is to talk or to work with a brain surgeon. Who better to teach you the ropes? Yeah, there's going to be some book work and whatnot, but the best way to do it is to sit with a brain surgeon. Have him teach you what he does. Sit with him. Go into the operating room with him. It's the same thing in stocks. You got to find someone that can teach you and show you and hold your hand and get you started in this stuff. Because people will just tell you their bias. They'll say, oh, you got to get short, you got to get short. Why? There is nothing about this chart that screams to me, get short. This chart screams to me right now, if you're long, be cautious. But nothing tells me to get short here. Nothing. So, if you have the bearish bias, stop. Stop. Let the charts be your guide. Just let the charts tell you what you need to know. We broke 1340, we broke 1345. These were my entries for my subscribers. To be honest, I'm not sure what I told my daily viewers, but for my subscribers, it was above 1340 and then above 1345 to the long side, and we killed it. Did very well in it this week. The real mover was gold. We just destroyed gold. We had entries at 1440, and for those that missed that one, we were in at 1465 to 1470. And just fantastic moves in gold. But same thing here. Very, very strong moves. This was just easy peasy lemon squeezy is what I told one of my subscribers today. It really was. It's simple trading for all practical purposes. So if you're long, good for you. Yay. Congratulations. You're going with the charts. Stay with the charts. If you're bearish, stop. Think about what you're doing here. Reassess where you're at, and try to make up. Let's try to run this thing up a little bit longer. VIX daily way down, sitting way down here in the 14-15 range. Same thing on a weekly, as low as we have been in a long time. So am I looking for a pullback? You bet I am. Sometime soon? Yeah, potentially next week. I mean, my gut would tell me that sometime next week we are going to slow down, but will it be a pullback? I don't know. Maybe it's just a high base. Point is, I think we see a pause or a break or something in the action next week at some point. I don't know what that point will be, nor am I going to guess. We're just going to ride this thing up as long as we can. But the VIX will then switch. It'll start to turn around and get back into this 15-16 area, which is technically where it really likes to hang out when things are very, very bullish in the markets. Right now, this is extreme contentment, if you will, by the markets. Kind of confirming the whole wave 3 thing for me, by the way. Apple, end of the day, there it is. Big move down, but look where it went. Right back into support. 20 and the 50 holding very nicely. Still caught in this big trading range. Your trades are still, as they have been, above the 354, 355 range and below 345. It's really where your more conservative trades are at. Huge move here. You can see it run right up into overhead resistance where it stopped and pulled right back. Gotta love these lines. When you get them in the right spot, it makes your trading so much more simple. Here it is on a daily. This is really just like the NASDAQ was for the longest time, just a pullback. This is still just a bull pullback. I'm not even freaking out about Apple till it gets way back down here. Then even then I won't freak out, but I might be a little less bullish. Your push is above this 355 mark, or your entries. So for you Apple bulls, boy, I'll tell you what, I'm salivating myself at the potential for that entry. Might not stick the first time, but I don't care. I'll keep trying until it works. But I like that entry. For the week, just blah on Apple. Really nothing to talk about here. Look at that. About as tight a doji as you can get. We opened the week at 350.34. We closed the week at 350.13. You can't get much more exact than that. Bears and the Bulls just duked it out. By the end of the week, they just shook hands and went home. So, still holding the 20-week moving average, and that's the most important thing to note on Apple. FAS was straight up here. You can see the move up into a consolidation. Love it above love it above $30 and, well, if you want me to get aggressive with you, $30.80 or $31 coming into next week. From a daily, still looking pretty good here, and you can see what it's doing, just hanging out up here. This is potentially a topping candle, so I'd be very cautious. Moves back below these moving averages would be your shorting opportunities after this huge run up. But, as I've said, this could consolidate sideways into a high base and then continue its move to the upside. We've seen a lot move up, sit one day in a spot and then move up again. So that's what I'll be watching coming next week. I'm really not worried about this short until we get back below this moving average. This turned into what I kind of wondered if it wouldn't, and that is just a big, huge, fat symmetrical triangle right now. It's just stuck in a triangle. I'll try to draw those lines in for you this weekend and show you guys what I'm seeing on, let's see, probably Monday for the daily viewers. FAZ kind of in a low base here, looking for it to break down below that $39 mark. This thing can't seem to find its footing. It put in a gravestone doji today right down here at the bottom. That is a potential reversal candle, but not till it gets back above the moving averages, just as we've seen in the FAS chart. Same type of story here. This could also be a continuation pattern. We do not know yet. Don't make guesses. Let the charts give you your entries. Otherwise, for the week, down pretty strong by the time it was all over with. This thing held this upper level here where I had this line drawn in beautifully and then dropped from that point forward. So if we get back below, I'm going to call about 38.50. We get back below that, my real target is back at this blue line here again. We just could bounce around here for a while. But right now, it's also in the same story. Kind of a symmetrical triangle looking thing right now until otherwise broken. All right, that'll do it for the week, guys. That will do it for the week. God, what a strong, look at that chart. If you're bullish, this is as pretty as it gets for you. You can't find a prettier chart than that. It really is nice. Just straight up. Very, very nice. Okay, so we would expect, like I said, some sort of pause next week. I'll be back with you guys again on Monday. Monday. If you want more information or like more information and you're getting good information from these videos, try the newsletter. $1 a day, well worth your time, well worth your expense. You can drop it after a month if it's not for you and you're only out about 28 bucks. A couple meals at your favorite restaurant. Not a big deal at all. It has a lot more charts, a lot more information in it, a ton more trades, and I'm a lot more exact in my entries and my exits, and I send out intraday updates on occasion to tell everybody where we're at and just kind of help everybody out. So I will go over Monday what we did last week. Let's see. I remember DTV being one of them. I think this is going to be off the charts next week. This one was along at 47.25 for the subscribers this week. So we did pretty well on that trade. Very happy with that chart as well. And then I don't know about the other ones. Oh, I know one that is coming off. BG reported this week. We didn't get the move we wanted before they reported, and we were out before they reported. So we didn't really get much done on this one. We saw a little break over 74. We rode that up to about 75, and then we were done with this trade. There wasn't anything else to do with it because earnings were coming out. That one will be off of next week's chart as well. Gold, I already told you about gold. We're still waiting for oil. to move. Got a couple of entries on that one. So if you guys like to play oil, got some really good insight there. I think you guys could benefit from if you're into it. And the other ones, I'm not sure if I'm taking off the charts yet, so I won't tell you what they were quite yet. We'll talk about that on Monday. Have a great weekend, everyone. And have any more questions about anything, feel free to write me or call me, and we'll chat. Talk to you guys later. Bye.